Hold up, okay. Man, things are a mess out there, dude. After this past election, I see people still ain't paying attention to what the government's doing. So let's get this video started. What's going on, man? Charlie in the box, check it out. Look, what I got my box today is gonna be like that C right there, though. I don't understand. Part 2, and it starts like this. It happened once in world history, actually recent history. A building brought down due to fire. It wasn't a house. It wasn't a building like the one I'm walking in the middle of today. It was a 20-story high-rise building. And it didn't get hit by a plane. It didn't have jet fuel in it. But on 9/11, this tragedy was told to the American people. Building 7. It wasn't made of freaking wood like this. It was made of steel and iron. So it takes a lot more to take that building down. But with the 9/11 Commission, NIST, your federal government, FEMA, and the media told the American people that this was capable. Something like that would never happen in the world, only in Hollywood. But the American people bid on it and believed it. See, people, there's a lot of stuff that if you did your homework about it, you would see how it doesn't add up. So I believe today the truth has to be told. So I need to get out of here because I just don't understand how this building's still being held up, and I care about my safety. Let's see what else I can get into. Let's go. You know what I quite don't understand? How the people aren't paying attention to what the big picture is. Like in our colleges. We're getting the same education that we did 30 years ago. We're paying double the amount. Why? Because your dollar is being devalued at an astronomical rate. That's one of the reasons. And another reason is just to piss you off. Like the third reason, record profits. Because when you find that out, you'll be really pissed off. The same thing kind of like our court system today. If you have the right amount of money, the rules don't apply to you. If you're an entertainer, a star, or a man of stature, or woman of stature, the laws don't apply to you. Only to the average frickin' Joe. This democracy, this capitalism, isn't working anymore, and we need a new system. That's what the people are going to be crying out for. I just don't quite understand. Whew. Another thing I don't quite understand. Planned Parenthood in freaking America. Even around the world, people. See, if people knew the true origins of Planned Parenthood, it was founded by Margaret Sanger. And she believed back in the early 1900s that they had a problem, or she had a problem, and that problem was the nigger problem. Not my words, in hers. Check it out. And she said the best way to deal with that nigger problem is to let's abort all those little nigger babies. So the woman has the right to choose. But today in America, how many African Americans are aborted today? If you look at statistics of all the African Americans that are being born and the ones that are being aborted, over 40% of African Americans are being aborted today in this country. 35 million Americans have been brought into this freaking world because of abortions. But who else kind of shares the same views as Margaret Sanger? I don't want my daughter to make a mistake. She shouldn't have to be punished for the rest of her life. That was your newly elected, re-elected President Obama. What else does he share with Margaret Sanger? I just don't understand America. Come on. What I don't quite understand is that most Americans believe the government grants rights. So you have to assume that that equal amount of government workers believe they could take them away from you. So let's look at our rights today in America and if we still have them. You have the right to own property, only if you pay your taxes or if they take it away by eminent domain. You have the right to bear arms. Well, as long as it's not a fully automatic, because only the government can hold those today. And your handguns, semi-automatics, they're going after those today. You have the right to report the news to the people, only if you have a press pass. Do you have the right to protect yourself? To do what makes you happy? Or is our government today preaching collectivism? The thing as a whole. Think of the environment. I just don't quite understand. I don't quite understand. See, every country, every empire, every community, every people that's lost its way from God has always been destroyed. So we can't expect any other outcome. If you want to fix your life, You want to fix your family. You want to fix your community. You want to fix your country. You want to fix things as a whole. Fix yourself. Fix your soul. Find your way back to God. I just don't quite understand. You know, another thing I don't quite understand is Prop 37 not passing in California. See, the people in California were told that the food prices go up because of new labeling was going to be put on the product they consume. But dog food was be done, but not some of the stuff that you consume. But that was a deception. Let's explain it to the people and let them decide. Prop 37, check it out. Prop 37. See, God made an apple that we consumed and ate every day for thousands of years that was freaking fine. It's still good. But man started producing an apple. And in this apple, they needed to get rid of the insects that were eating up the crops. So they put a genetically modified organisms in it. And when the insect ate it, it died. And then they started getting into lab rats. And when lab rats ate it, they got tumors and cancer and died. So today they're feeding it to the American people. So let me ask you a question. After knowing that about GMOs, which one would you rather eat? The one that God made or the one man made? So let's try to explain it to women, right? Women, think about it like this. Okay, God made a diamond, a 5-carat diamond, and it's worth $20,000. And your husband's gonna buy it for you on your wedding ring. But man made a diamond too. It's 5 carats, but it only costs $1,500. Which diamond do you want on your freaking ring? So which apple do you want? I think the one that God made, people want. Prop 37. I just don't quite understand America. Another thing I don't quite understand America is politicians and politics. Government as a whole, they keep taking us down the road of tyranny. Adopting socialism, communism, and disguising it on people's rights. And you could tell by this election of Barack Obama, the people didn't know who they were voting for, but they voted for him anyways. Do they know what collectivism is? No. Do they actually know mutually assured economic global collapse? No. Do they know about Agenda 21? No. But these politicians know what that is. They know exactly what's going on. And they want to be on the side that actually thinks they're going to win. But if God's on our side and the devil's on theirs, who can stand against us? I don't understand. Whew. This is the last one. I just don't quite understand. Running around everywhere. Check it out, look it. How come the money never gets to the classroom? Just like these gates, they're closed. Because it's like this. We have to go back to school for this one. You got A, B, and C. A is the government taxing us. B is, we don't know yet. And C is our kids in the classroom. In order for your kid to play soccer this year, you better use their uniforms from last year, or you better have a damn car wash. You want to keep that music classroom open? You better come up with some creative ways to keep those doors open, like a bake sale or yard sale. So why isn't it getting to our freaking kids? What's B? Don't believe me, look into it yourself. It's the unions. Unions don't produce nothing. They just take. But we have to pay those high wages of the union leaders and tenure of those freaking teachers. Even though our kids are failing today in our classrooms, we have to keep the facade open. We have to keep the people going along with this freaking lie of destroying our country in our school system. So let's give them union teachers, those union leaders, their bribe, their payoff. Because they won't ever look into why the kids ain't getting it in the classroom, because they're being paid off. It's just like your government workers with unions in our government. They shouldn't be there. Unions don't produce a commodity. Government doesn't produce a commodity. They both produce a debt. They look to the American people to pay those freaking wages. What would happen when the government has to be downsized because they don't got the funds to produce, they don't got the funds to keep the doors open? Those union jobs are gone. What happens to the government jobs when we don't got that money coming in anymore? Can the unions provide those jobs for the freaking union workers? The government workers? No. They close the doors and the facade is gone. Today in our country, your federal government went after Gibbs and Qatar and they told them, you need to close your doors up in this country today and send your company, your job somewhere else. Like Chevrolet did. We bailed them out. Don't you want to bail out? 3 plants were closed in our country today. 1 went to Mexico, 2 went to China. Do you even know that? Today, Gibbs and Qatar is suing the federal government for those threats. And they're defending you, America. That's you. What affects one of us affects all of us. So why isn't that money getting to our classroom? Check it out yourself. I never want you to believe the information I'm giving you, but it's the truth. The money's not getting to our classroom because of the unions. We have to pay those wages. The money's not ever going to get to your communities because they have to pay the wages of our freaking government workers and the union workers. It isn't going to be able to happen. This game isn't going to be able to play, keep going on much longer. That's why they keep paying you guys off with government jobs and union jobs to keep you distracted and keep you paid, because you're going to turn that blind eye. You're not going to do the right thing. You're not going to see what the true problem is. I just don't quite understand, America. Hold up, we ain't stopped yet. This video ain't done until I finish the last phrase, right? You guys know I can't leave the video unless we say it. If you're not gonna do everything in power to restore your life, our schools, our communities, liberty, that's freedom, baby, and this country, where the last stand of man's freedom is. You're gonna do everything in power to destroy it. CHARLIEINTHEBOX out. You have to go, go, let's do it first. You have to do it first. Go,